I'm really setting myself up for failure with the contents of this video because I don't have much to say, but regardless, I want to speak to one thing in particular and the three things in general here because I think it's really important regardless. Bonnie Blue is a porn star, content creator, postmodern villain who wears Mew Mew. And I was thinking about her yesterday because I started watching one YouTube channel that like does commentary on the porn industry at large. And I didn't kind of care too much about Bonnie Blue whatsoever, but I started watching a few of her videos, and it's really tough for me to watch content online. You could just imagine me on my bed, like with the volume really low on my iPhone that has like the iPhone 15 Pro Max is what I have, and so it's a big screen, but I'm just not accustomed to watching content. And it's occurring to me like Bonnie Blue is a postmodern villain, and anyone in her position would wear Prada, because what Prada represents is the bookish academic type within the like basic fashion houses. And turns out, yeah, she was wearing Miu Miu, which is a diffusion line, a more playful take on Prada's work. And like the honest to God truth is that I'm good at what I do. Posting online isn't easy for me whatsoever. I don't find this entertaining or enjoyable at all. None of this is fun. I don't have anxiety literally, but do I experience anxiety by openly engaging the public on shit that they don't know anything about? Yeah. Loitard, Jean-Francois Loitard, was this French intellectual who had a commissioned work by the Quebec government, the postmodern condition, a look into knowledge, something like that. And that was the first book to talk about postmodernism. And in Canada, we don't have an intellectual tradition. And so I have to really take what I can get. And this work is not a bad feast whatsoever. But the thing is, I don't have a community, especially in Western Canada. And so I have to kind of go out of my way to solve problems, or I have to go out of my way in solving problems. And like, so I'm going to do things that are like completely novel. I started analyzing anal porn, and to the extent that I'm actually willing to watch it, my content is about keeping the work of Loitard, or keeping the work of Foucault at least, alive, taking it to its logical conclusion as I see fit, where it actually ends up in legal discourse. But it's already in legal discourse. I just mean, like, let's actually have a, like, I want to engage the public on this stuff, on postmodern thought. And I do that type of stuff in a very specific way. And okay, I'll pivot. Or yeah, like watching porn's not easy. Talking about it, the working class, the poor, and the homeless are really dumb. They don't know anything, and you can't talk to them because of the postmodern condition. So what do? You just beat the shit out of them on the grounds that you have taste and they don't. You do it in a way that's like obscene because it literally proves that you can get away with what they can't, and it's all in service to hopefully not educate them, because why would you want to do that? You want to take away their struggle so that they are no longer working class, they're no longer poor, they're no longer homeless. So what I'm thinking, I'm gonna reread Lolita. I have like 4 copies of this. I have 4 or 5 copies of this in my book collection. And then as I'm reading it, I'm just going to talk to you about the anal porn that I've watched. And then there was something else. There's something about like the thing about going to, like, people are always like university students are dumb as fuck. It's like, by definition they're not. What the working class, the poor, and the homeless have a problem with regarding, oh fuck, okay, so this is the point of the video. This is a really fucking crazy thought. The problem with universities today, besides like literally being a diploma mill, is the fact that the wrong people are getting into university. You can't have working class families, the poor and the homeless, end up in universities because they haven't trained their kids to engage with literary criticism. And so you get universities full of social justice warriors, like these character types that like use academia as a way to instigate like, what's the point of going to university if you learn nothing from it? But I'm not putting the onus on the child. I'm putting it on the family. In Canada we have a huge immigrant population, and so what's the point of abusing the living fuck out of your kids and then having them go to university and taint higher education? The parents should have themselves been giving up their victimhood to correctly do a class-based noble activity, that of their kids getting higher education, in which case you wouldn't have educated dumbasses that the working class, the poor, and the homeless can then spit on and say that all university education is worthless. And I speak to this by literally participating in literary criticism by talking about Lolita while talking about anal pornography, which is like media criticism, but it's not that. It's about there no longer being morals and ethics and everything being a matter of taste and oh, okay. So the Epstein files like exposed quite a bit of shit, and Deepak Chopra was in it, and this guy's a dumbass, and I've hated him since the first day I knew about him. But the thing is, in the like elite world, blackmail is like the strategic tool used by the elite to like create social order amongst themselves. And it's because like blackmail works in a legal context to like enforce a will to power. But you can only be blackmailed if you practice victimhood. So like with that in mind, if I'm openly stacking, just talking about Lolita, watching and talking about anal porn, I'm allowing the public to work with me for us to have a dialogue about what it means to be blackmailed and how power is asserted in our postmodern society, but in this very historically rooted, or this very serious way that has worked, which is through blackmail. Okay, and then what's the fucking third thing? Yeah. It's just too much. Oh, Epstein thinks people who are goyim are subhuman and can be treated differently. I now know how to think about that. And I'm gonna use that. Like goyim can be stronger than the Jews. The Jews are using a victim-based like blackmailing process. Just don't be blackmailable. Man, this is just like really intense, heady stuff.